Hey, my friends! I hope you don't mind I'm calling you friends because you got probably own friends and you're like, either you have seen me, you know me personally, or you might actually think like, who the heck is this guy? And what is about that Miami shirt? Well, I like to wear sometimes stuff like this. I bought this the other day in Spain. So if you're interested in the brand, let me know. I try to share some useful tools, and today I want to talk about the sales IQ or EQ. Really, I think that's the right term. I believe that we all are selling, we all are influencing, and I don't use the word sales that often, but maybe it comes because I've been in sales and marketing for quite some time, probably close to 20 years now, and starting with a kid selling and suggesting people stuff they could buy in a supermarket when I was a cashier. And I treat this format as video, as audio, as sometimes a LinkedIn post or a blog post. So maybe you read it and see this in a different vibe or different fashion, and you get a different vibe. So don't mind it. Just stick around, and I tell you, it will be worth your while. I try to bring different tools for you. Don't maybe manage every time, but most of the time I try to give you something that will really improve your life. I've been in a sports background for the last, since I'm probably 10 years old. And I've done different, athletics, a lot of times, swimming, biking, long distance running, did get into competitive table tennis, then also obstacle racing, ultimately also into man physique competitions, or at least on a level that I could see that being beneficial. Because higher you go, or I try to go, I realize it's doesn't fit with the rest of my lifestyle, which was obviously still earning money and stuff. So anyways, long story short, I just wanted to say with that, you have your story, you have your little little world you live in, and you're influencing, and everything you've done in your life have brought you here. It gives you the potential and possibility to do something with your life. And if you stumble on my channel or some of the audios, use it to your advantage. I know I'm not always, sometimes might sound very monotone, very boring. I work on that because a lot of these things are common knowledge for me and common practice because I've been doing it 2 decades or more. Um, but I know that it's not always so self-explanatory, and that's why I try to bring you different tools that can help you. First of all, I want to remind you to drink more water throughout your day. Please buy a bottle like this. You can get it on Amazon. This one is from Guy. Don't really know if that's the name, but anyways, plastic bottle. You can get all of these. And almost one time it was really funny. I wanted to order for my spouse. I actually ordered for my spouse, and one, was it 1 liter? No, it was 2 liters. 2 liters, and it was like huge basket, and she hated me because she's small. And she thought, are you kidding me? What do I do with this 2 liter bottle, pulling it around? So anyways, we had a joke. I sent it back. But anyways, please get it. If even if you really drink a lot during the day, then get a bigger one. But I tend to see that I fill it up probably twice, 3 times a day, depending in the summer, maybe a bit more, and put in some, you know protein powder thing. We got really interesting, good protein powder from SPN, if I'm not mistaken. ESN, sorry, ESN, and they actually do this little. It's almost like invisible powder. You put it in, and it tastes like iced tea, and it's different than a normal protein powder. So you can leave it a little bit, put some ice cubes, and you don't feel bloated after that. So really cool. I think it's ESN, and then you just put iced tea. Just put it into Amazon. You will find it pretty interesting. Another tool I have for you guys, and I don't think you will find this one unless you live in Germany or can have access to some German products. Maybe you can find it online. But this one is from Werner Schmidt, which is the pharmacy. and it's for your voice. I really like it because sometimes I talk a lot during the day and during meetings, and then it says, with this, your voice will be better, or you do something good for your voice. So I really like it. It's some essential oils, and you spray it in your mouth. I really like it. So another thing I have for you guys is tear bands. Tear bands, if you want to be fit, if you are like me on the travel, on the move, please buy this. This one is quite thick, so really resistant, and you will need probably a little bit more power to stretch that. But I really like it because you can, even if you do just like me, a lot of high interval training, so without weights, when I'm normally at home and have my normal weekly routine, then we have weights, we have built gym in our cellar, we have a sauna, and it's really impressive because that's the whole COVID thing that happened. Most of us were working out from home, couldn't go anywhere, and we just moved in COVID to a new place, a bigger place where we actually were able to build a gym. So regardless of the gym, when it happens a couple times or a couple months during the year where my routine is different, maybe work from abroad or travel, have longer vacation, I need this bad boy in my carry-on and some other bands, so you can keep building muscle, because muscle is the best thing that could happen ever to you as you get older. You don't injure yourself. There is a lot of often different theories and different science that shows that muscle actually takes first the load or the hit before you get sick. So you can really offset how fast you recover, how resilient you are, how flexible you are. So a lot of this, like tear bands, can really serve you well. But today I wanted to talk to you before the tools about sales. Um, it's a topic I actually don't think ever have talked about until today, and maybe because I had a lot of resistance towards sales. My first sales gig, if you will, started as a contractor when I was probably 18 for Telefonica. So I worked there probably a year, door-to-door sales, selling contracts for mobile and ADSL, so the internet. How interesting that was! Just ringing doorbells. Kids open up and try to convince them to switch contract from T-Mobile to O2. So I learned a lot in this, and my sales career or my sales marketing career had to do a lot between sales and marketing, and I really now see the power. There is a book that I actually want to recommend you guys from a guy called Jeb Blount. Jeb Blount, sorry. I'm butchering the names today a little bit. So anyways, it's called Sales EQ. And I just got it because I read a couple books. I think the fanatical prospecting, and I really liked it because it aligned throughout the years. I read different books like the Challenger Sale and different type of sales methodologies. But as you get more further into complex sales, you realize it's a lot about emotional intelligence. And the times are gone. I mean, there are still people, if you work in selling some vacuum cleaners, maybe door to door, but many people just don't respond to that so well anymore. You need to build connection with people, and as I lead a little mastermind, and it's quite growing, but it's interesting because it really aligns to what I want to tell you today. We had my friend Dean, who I'm sometimes mentioned in these calls because he's been to me like my second father, my mentor, and my friend, or third father probably. Should have only one father, I thought. But anyways, long story short, I learned a lot in this mastermind through the people that I brought together. A lot of C-level heads, managers, international people. But Dean, being one of them, had a topic the other day about sales because he's CEO at a company or chief commercial officer and training the sales from lead generation all the way to closure. And I was thinking, because a lot of the things that he preached, sell yourself, sell your knowledge, and sell your product, it's something I've been doing for a long time. And when I opened this book and I started reading it the other day, Jeb talks about how people really buy you first, and he used different terminology for this, but it really comes to recognizing that people are so emotional, and that the decisions that people, that we always think they make a logical decision, but sometimes, even if you're like a company, I had a discussion the other day when, we were traveling to Italy to visit a client, and met, an interesting guy who worked for international global company and flew all the fancy jets, and then was explaining the stories how they, flew, very expensive executives from one place to another in an expensive jet, limo, everything you could imagine. And that's, sometimes how to close the deal. But Jeb actually describes one of the example here where they try to compete against, somebody who did that, and yet they still won the deal, just because these people actually said, you were there, we could associate with you, you were down to earth. And I can tell you many times the deals I have won has to do a lot with, how you orchestrate, how human you are, but also about added value. But in the end, it's really about, can you help people, and are you really doing it for the money, or are you trying to make people better? And I'm using this, because many of you out there who listen to my content see a lot of personal development, but I think I want to flavor a little bit more of marketing in this, and a little bit more sales, to give you some other, tactics and strategies that I have learned in the past, I would say, 20 years, that helped me as well to win, massive deals and build my career, and really build a life that I'm proud about. And yes, it has to do with a lot of these things that I showed you before, from, TheraBands to voice spray to whatever. But these are, water, obviously it's a daily thing, but these are a little bit add-ons. But you've got to be a good human being. If you want to sell something to people, yourself, your knowledge, your product, yourself, your knowledge, your product, yourself, your knowledge, and your product. This is the order you want to go in. Even if you don't sell anything, even if it's, influencing yourself, yes, influencing your kids. You want to lead by example. You want to share the knowledge. And then you say, by the way, yes, remember, did you see? You could take this course to be better. I know it's boring. So to influence people, you got to lead by example. And when you do that long enough, people will trust you. People will trust your knowledge, your expertise. And often they choose for you. And you know why? Because they see you care, because they see you humble and you have their best interest. Shows that, again, that we are irrational, emotional human beings, and it's not a bad thing. So remember, you have a significant power that you can wield, and that you wield most likely, but don't use it for, bad stuff. Use it to influence people in the right way. Use it to build communities, like I told you about a mastermind or different groups that I lead. It's to make this world a better place, because we need to step up. We need to raise the necessity, the urgency to do something with our lives. And sometimes it is through a content like this. I do it to laugh about myself in 10 years, and I'm watching this and I'm like, that was bad. But at the same time, it inspires me, because I know that you maybe will take action based on this video. Maybe it's the one thing that resonates with you and that gives you the power, that gives you really that honest opinion from somebody who maybe you've never met, or maybe and you're like, he's onto something, this guy. So again, I don't make it about myself, I make it about you. You got time. Focus on the next 5-10 years and build something awesome. The personal brand, or sharing your opinion, it really matters. Please do it about something that you care deeply about, and make this world a better place. I'm really watching to see you inspired, and I'm looking forward to meet you one day. Yes, even through my mumbling and rumbling, I hope you're getting the message and you gotta take action today. And if not today, then tomorrow. Today's better. So until the next time, please stay legendary. be awesome, go out there, and don't be afraid.